नमो नमस्ते गुरवे महात्मने विमुक्तसंगाय सदुत्तमाय नित्याद्वयानन्दरसस्वरूपिणे भूम्ने सदा पारदयाम्बुधाम्ने नमस्ते नमस्ते विभो विश्वमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते चिदानन्दमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते तपोयोगगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते श्रुतिज्ञानगम्य स्वाराज्य साम्राज्य विभूतिरेषा भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिमप्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते। हरि ओम तत्सत। जय गुरु। So we have done one section which is up to 11th shloka of 7th chapter we have done. ये चैव सात्विका भावा राजसास्तामसाश्च ये मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि नत्वहं तेषु ते मयि त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैः एभिः सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्यः परमव्ययम् दैवी ह्येषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते। Now here we have to compare many things with the 14th chapter and other chapters also, 18th and 16th, but mainly 14th, because this Triguna model has been explicitly discussed in the 14th chapter. ये जो तीन गुणों का जो मॉडल है, मॉडल को हम हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे? तत्व बोल सकते, ये भी एक तत्व है, बट मॉडल बोलने से जो भावना आती है वो तत्व। तत्व मीन्स ट्रूथ, इट्स अ मॉडल, इट्स अ पॉस्टुलेट। मॉडल का हिंदी क्या है बोलो? हाँ, प्रारूप। दैट इज नॉट, देयर शुड बी समथिंग इजी, दैट फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द थ्री गुना। ये भगवद गीता का एक बहुत ही स्पेशलिटी है तो ये भागवतम में, श्रीमद् भागवतम में बहुत और भी गहराई से बताया गया है, लेकिन भगवद गीता का भी एक विशेष प्रस्तावना है। These three guna, actually it is discussed as the whole universe is made of three gunas, like three coordinate sequence. But in Bhagavad Gita, particularly they have focused on our personality. That is the whole universe. All these days we have been studying that as the whole universe is a product of three gunas, our personality is also a product of the nature. So it is also made of the three gunas. तो भगवद गीता में हमारे व्यक्तित्व भी ये तीन गुणों से बना हुआ है, उसी पर ध्यान ज़्यादा दिया गया है। किसी और जगह में वो प्रकृति तीन गुणों का प्रोडक्ट है, उसके ऊपर ज़्यादा ध्यान दिया गया है। एक्चुअली इट इज़ दोज हु हैव अ लिटिल साइंटिफिक बेंड विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट scientifically also it is true. Actually the three gunas, what do they represent? The sattva guna represents revelation, enlightenment, basically revelation, enlightenment. That means that we are able to know something. When our sattva guna is enhanced, then we will be able to know things much better. Even in normal subjects also, even in daily behavior also, if the sattva guna is not, particularly if tamo guna is strong, then everything they will understand viparita, in a reverse manner. They will not understand what is being expressed. So sattva guna actually reveals. So the presence of sattva guna in buddhi is allowing us to understand the truth. So it is regarded as the enlightenment. Rajoguna is representing energy, activity, but with a desire motivated activity generally. Even without desire also in Prakriti it is an activity. The whole nature, it's an unimaginable level of activities are going on. The galaxies are getting born, galaxies are getting destroyed. We cannot even imagine. It's all under the Rajoguna. But when it is expressed in human beings, we generally consider the Rajoguna is the pravritti towards activity with a desire motivated activity. That means a partial vision. वो जो बहुत रजोगुणी है, वो जो सोचेंगे जो उनको चाहिए उसके लिए एकदम वो सोएंगे भी नहीं, खाएंगे भी नहीं, उसके पीछे लगे रहेंगे. But if he doesn't get that, then again he will become depressed also. So it is a partial vision. They don't have the wholesome vision. Sattva guni जो होगा वो उनका एक wholesome vision रहेगा. He will be able to understand things in a wholesome manner. And tamoguna represents the nidra alasya pramada alasya nidravhi. That is in mind, in body, in buddhi, everywhere it is representing lethargy, inertia. So it represents the wrong understanding, sleep, etc. When tamoguna increases in our body, we go to sleep. There is nothing wrong in that. But If the tamoguna is very prominent, very strong, then in understanding we will not be able to apply our buddhi. Many people are not able to understand the subtle things because they don't have that much of proportion of sattva guna. The tamoguna and rajoguna and more. Now in Prakriti, any elementary particle also, first of all, to have any change, as the whole universe, the whole creation, it is only depending on change. Everywhere it is something is getting born, undergoing a change, and finally it is dying or destroyed. So it is a causal chain going on. Everywhere it is energy. So the Rajoguna, without Rajoguna there cannot be any creation at all. Creation means change. Anything, any creation means it is not there, it has come and it will change and it will finally be destroyed. So Rajoguna means change, and creation means also change. Creation, everywhere change will be there. So without Rajoguna there cannot be any creation. Now if those who have studied physics will understand, any particle to recognize, it has to exist for a certain time. It can be 10 to the power minus 32 also, which is extremely small. But it has to have a period of existence. Without that we cannot accept it as a particle. This is the inertia of the particle. That inertia must be there. It might be the stable day or the energy value, that inertia has to be there. Without inertia nothing can exist. That is, without tamoguna nothing can exist. This tamoguna means resistance, inertia, etc. Even in the world also, without the friction can we walk? It is the friction which is allowing us to work. So every guna has got its plus and minus both. Similarly, suppose there are so many things but you don't know about it. There might be so many other things, other particles and all, we don't know. So unless the knowledge of it is there, that it is revealed, we will not accept this as existence. So to anything to exist, it must have any minuscule also has some lifetime, it must have. Then it must be representing change or energy, and it we must be able to know it. It must be revealed to our knowledge power. So this sattva, rajas, tamas, all three together only, any existence can be there. It cannot be without one also. This three guna model is such that they will always go together. We can only change the proportion of each. That is why in Bhagavad Gita it is saying, na tadasti prithibhyam va divi deveshu va punah. By it a reference to Buddhism. Na tadasti prithibhyam va divi deveshu va punah sattvam prakritijair muktam yadebhisyat trivirgunaihi. He says that in this world, or even if you think of the heaven or hell or anything, divi deveshu, even the deva loka also, there cannot be any existence. Sattva there means existence, which is not a combination of all three gunas. Na tadasti prithibhyam va divi deveshu va punah sattvam prakritijair muktam yadebhi syat trivirgunai.
18.40.
18.40. It's in the 18th chapter. So here also they are saying you cannot think of that gunatita means I will not have any of the gunas. People have these misunderstandings. In the 14th chapter it is gunatita yoga. It doesn't mean that you will not have the three gunas. You have to have, as long as your body, mind, personality is born, is existing, it must be a combination of the three gunas. But as human being, what we can do is that all these three gunas, they have a capacity, they bind us. They don't allow us to feel the freedom of our real identity, the freedom of the soul or Atma, the freedom of Brahman. They are not allowing us. By 3 kinds of bondages. That 14th chapter discusses in great detail. That is, we will get it in beginning itself, 14th chapter. See, let us start from 5th one. Sattvam rajas tama iti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha. Here the meaning prakriti sambhava can be of 2 kinds. That is, these gunas are produced from prakriti or the prakriti is produced from gunas. Both way it is same. We cannot do the karya karana sutra there. The prakriti is made of the 3 gunas. So if the prakriti is born, 3 gunas also will be born together. It is not that the gunas were born first and then the prakriti came, or the prakriti came and then the 3 gunas came. Both are not possible. They should be together there. That's the... So, Nibadnanti mahabaho dehe dehinam abhyayam. So we have to be very careful about each word. Deha means sharira, means our body, or you can say Vyaktitva, body, mind, personality. Sharira or Deha means seat of experience. Wherever we are experiencing, that is the seat of experience. Even if you get an experience where you do not have a body, suppose the bodiless experience, that also the seat of experience will be in your brain, in your body. Otherwise, you will not be able to remember the experience. It has to get into your memory. It has to get established there. So, anything that we experience, the seat of experience is our body. That is called the Deha. Now, what is happening? He says, Dehi. Dehi means in the body, our focus is always on the inert constituents of the body. That is the sthula body, the physical sharira, then mind, then buddhi. They are all inert because I am knowing the inert and they are also object. I am knowing my mind. I am knowing the thoughts coming. They are all object before me. I am knowing my buddhi is sometimes sharp, sometimes not. They are all object. We can put all these things in the computer and generate various thinking in the computer. Thinking means mechanical way of thinking, but thinking. We can generate various ideas, we can allow the computer to have much more intelligence than us also. Everything done, the computer will not know what it can do. Understand? Computer can do much more work than us, but it will never know what it is doing. That knowledge part is not there. That is the consciousness. When the consciousness, if we can make, suppose in future, I don't know, with biological molecules, if you can make a supercomputer like that, which will respond to the consciousness, then it will become like it will know also what it is. I am not excluding that possibility. That is, the computer will become live, fully alive, only when it can know what is happening. The experiences will be known to it. So far it is not. It can do many things, whatever we have made the computer capable of doing, it can do that. It doesn't know what it is capable of. It goes on doing. So, all these are the Deha part. They are the inert, I am saying. Only the knower, the revealer part, the knowing part is the Chetana. That is the Chit, which is getting reflected in our buddhi and appearing as Chidabhasa. I have discussed all this with the mirror example and all over the last few days. So he says that is the Dehi. Dehi, why? Because it is with the association of the body, the consciousness is expressing as a living body, as a knowing cell. So that is the Dehi which is existing in the body. He says, Nibadnanti, O Mahavaho, Dehi Abhyayam Dehinam, Abhyayam Dehinam, Dehe Nibadnanti. Who is Dehi? Abhyaya. What is the meaning of Abhyaya? Changeless. you have anything in the universe changeless. Even space also. You cannot think of anything changeless in the universe. Anything in the objectude, in the objective field is changeful. The only changeless we can think of, which is not an object or anything, is our revealer in us, the I in us, which is the same in everybody. It is not different in different body. That is the only the changeless. The I in us, as it is reflected or expressed through the body, mind, personality, is also changeful. That is why we think that I am sorry today, I was happy yesterday. The I doesn't change, but with the association of the body, it becomes as if it is changeful. That is what they say. That the Dehi, as if it is getting bound to the body. How they are doing this? By the three guna effect, they are binding the Dehi to the as if is there. As if they are binding the Dehi to the Deha. That means the changes in the Deha, changes in the body, mind, personality, in the Bhyaktitva, those changes we start thinking that I am undergoing those changes. That is the delusion. That is the main problem to be solved in the whole spiritual fact. Are you able to understand? हिंदी में फिर बोलना पड़ेगा. ये दोनों मिलाने से बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. ना तो ये आता है, ना तो वो आते हैं. So, saying that, he has described then how each guna is binding the Dehi to the Deha. The first they have said sattva. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanagha. Hey Anagha, O Arjuna, this calling also has meaning. Everywhere he is using different terms. He says that sattva guna is nirmala, that means it is absolutely pure. Prakashakam anamayam, it is the revelatory power, it is the prakasha, it's light, it is the revelatory power, knowledge, where there is no taint at all. But that also binds the Dehi to the Deha. Sattva guna is very good, but that also, suppose you are tied to the tree with a golden chain. Oh, it is gold, gold, gold. Be happy, but you are tied there. If you want to become free, you have to cut asunder the golden thread also. So sattva guna is you can say a white rope, like that. How does it bind? Sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena. It binds us by, see how Sangha is coming. All these days I have been talking about Sangha, Sangha, Sangha. The main discovery of Bhagavad Gita is we are working throughout our life motivated by desire. What is the ultimate desire in everything? That by doing this I will become happy. And that is the great trap we are caught into. Nothing makes us happy finally. All these we have been discussing. So here he says Sukha Sangena Badnati. That Sangha here is to the, in Sattva Guna, the Sangha is towards Sukha. And also Sangha is towards Jnana, knowledge. Now here we should understand that when we are talking about Sukha, in Sattva Guna, we have to see that this Sukha is not Rajasic Sukha or Tamasika Sukha. It is Sattvika Sukha. That they have discussed in great detail in 18th chapter I have taken, and it's all there in the YouTube also in great detail. What is the Sattvika Sukha? The Rajasika Sukha is when your desire is fulfilled, you are working successful and all. Tamasika Sukha is by sleeping and being lazy, you get Sukha there also. Sattvika Sukha is when your mind is wholesomely understanding the truth, that oneness, it discovers the oneness in the multiplicity. Our vision is getting divided by the variety. But a Sattva Guna will let us know the oneness behind the variety. So just as a guna, all the directors and corporate people should be envious of this guna. Why? Sitting in a meeting, they will be able to have a wholesome picture of who is saying what is the problem and all. Generally the directors will be egoistic. They will say that हमारी बात नहीं सुनेंगे तो हम चले जाएंगे. वो उन्होंने नहीं बोला है, वो कुछ नहीं जानते हैं, हम बोले हैं ये करना है. तुम बोलते हैं ना ऐसा नक्षत्र में, जमशेदपुर में. So it will be always the sattva guna will make us have a very wholesome picture. He is saying like that, he is saying because of this, what is the truth behind that? Another person is saying this, what is the truth behind that? Everything he will understand. And he will be able to, generally they will solve all the arguments and problems and jhagda, सब कुछ solve करने वाले होंगे. So that is the jnana, in sattvika jnana. What is the sloka? सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावम् अव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्. So it is not ordinary jnana which is binding. When we are saying that sattva guna binds us by sukha and jnana, it is both sattvika sukha and sattvika jnana. So they have said, like that they have given the bondage caused by rajoguna also. Rajo ragatmakam viddhi trishnasanga samudbhavam tan nibadnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. These are all from 14th chapter, 7th verse. Rajoguna binds us by karma sanga. They go on working, we say workaholic, na? Working. वो बोलते हैं कि हम कर्म योगी हैं, काम करते हैं. काम करने से कर्म योगी नहीं बनते हैं. जब हम काम करते हैं योग दृष्टि से तभी कर्म करते हैं. जो योग दृष्टि के साथ काम नहीं करता है वो भी कर्म योगी है. जिनमें योग दृष्टि नहीं है, खाली काम ही करते हैं, वो कर्मी है, कर्म योगी नहीं है. सो दे गेट बाउंड बाय द संगा टुवर्ड्स एक्टिविटीज. दे कैनॉट रिमेन. चुपचाप बैठना भी मुश्किल है, मेडिटेशन करना भी मुश्किल है, पढ़ना भी मुश्किल है. हमेशा वो काम में लगे रहना चाहते हैं. रिटायरमेंट हो गया, री एम्प्लॉयमेंट हो गया, फिर और कहीं और एक एम्प्लॉयमेंट हुआ. कितना दिन तक एम्प्लॉयमेंट चलेगा? एक बात तो फाइनली विल बी किक्ड आउट ऑफ योर चेयर. तब क्या करोगे? बैठ के क्या करोगे? तब तो एज भी बढ़ गया. उस समय भगवद गीता पढ़ने से भी समझ में नहीं आएगा. तो पहले से ही सोचना चाहिए कि जब कुछ काम नहीं रहेगा तो हम क्या करेंगे, कैसे करेंगे. बट दे डोंट थिंक. सिमिलरली तमस्तु अज्ञानजम विद्धि मोहनम सर्वदेहिनाम प्रमाद आलस्य निद्राभिर तन्निबध्नाति भारत. तमोगुना, इट इज अज्ञानजम विद्धि. इट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम द अज्ञाना, फ्रॉम इग्नोरेंस. मोहनम सर्वदेहिनाम, ये सबको मोहित कर देते हैं, मतलब डिल्यूट कर देते हैं. प्रमाद आलस्य निद्रा भी तन निबध्नाति. सो तमोगुना बाइंड्स अस बाय प्रोड्यूसिंग संगा टुवर्ड्स प्रमादा. वो सब कुछ गलत देखते हैं, वो गलती के प्रति ही उनका संग है. हम लोग बोलते हैं बंगाली में उल्टा बुझली राम. वो सब कुछ अर्थ रिवर्स समझते, उल्टा समझते हैं. स्वामी जी ने कुछ करेक्शन दिया कि ऐसा मत करो, ये ऐसा करो. ओ स्वामी जी हमें पसंद नहीं करते, स्वामी जी उनको पसंद करते हैं, हमें नहीं पसंद करते, इसीलिए हमें बताए. अरे स्वामी जी आपको प्यार से बताया कि ये करेक्शन करना है. अगर तुम्हें पसंद नहीं करते तो स्वामी जी तुम्हें क्यों बोलेंगे? बोलने का कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. जिनको पसंद नहीं करते क्यों बोलेंगे? बट वो सोचेंगे कि हमें क्यों करेक्शन दिया गया है, हमें पसंद नहीं करते हैं. तो रहो जैसा है रहो, करेक्शन की ज़रूरत नहीं है, साधक बनने का भी ज़रूरत नहीं है, जैसा करते रहो वैसे ही करो. सो दैट तमोगुना विल बाइंड अस टू द प्रमाद आलस्य. आलस्य मीन लेथर्जी एंड निद्रा, टू स्लीप एंड ऑल. This pramada is the mental lethargy actually. Buddhi, the lethargy of buddhi and mind. ये तो सबका है. See, our body may remain active, but how long the buddhi is remaining active, all of you think, throughout the day? How long the buddhi is remaining active? बुद्धि हम जस्ट मन में सोचते रहते हैं, इधर उधर हम बोलते हैं संकल्प विकल्प, सोचते हैं बहुत ही कम, मतलब इट इज़ द लेथर्जी ऑफ द बुद्धि. सो आलस्य फिजिकल हो सकता है, मेंटल हो सकता है, बौद्धिक भी हो सकता है. निद्रा केवल फिजिकल एंड कनेक्टेड टू माइंड एंड बुद्धि ऑल्सो, एवरीथिंग व्हेन द डीप स्लीप कम्स. अदरवाइज ड्रीम में केवल शरीर का स्लीप हो रहा है, मन तो चल रहा है फिर भी. सो ऑल दीज आर, दे आर बाइंडिंग अस टू द वर्ल्ड. दिस इज संगा, generating sangha towards various things. We feel that we are bound. We are not able to get over this sangha. So the entire sadhana according to this 3 guna model is to get rid of the bondage created by the gunas. It is not that you will not have the 3 gunas, but you will be freed of the tamoguna by cultivating more of rajoguna and sattvaguna. That is, if you are having more of inertia and lethargy and all, take food, read things, do certain things which will take away the lethargy and inertia and make you more alert, active. Sattvaguna will make you alert and rajoguna will make you active, because alertness is of the mind and buddhi. So, by cultivating more of sattvaguna and rajoguna, we will win over the bondage created by the tamoguna. This is the, in a nutshell, the sadhana of Bhagavad Gita according to the 3 guna model. I am saying very briefly. I am saying it is there in great detail in the, we have spoken so many times. Similarly, for rajoguna, to win over rajoguna, we have to create more of sattva, cultivate more of sattva guna. Because rajoguna always gives us a partial vision, motivated by हम जो चाहते हैं वो करना चाहते, likes and dislikes, raga and dvesha. That is the basic point of rajoguna. So if we develop a knowledge of oneness, that सब कुछ आत्मा में ही प्रकाशित हो रहा है, तो राग द्वेष कम हो जाएगा. जो हम लोग ने इतने दिन हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे, हाउ टू रिड्यूस द राग द्वेष, फाइंड द वननेस इन एवरीथिंग. हाउ डू यू फाइंड द वननेस इन एवरीथिंग? यू स्टार्ट बिकमिंग फॉन्ड ऑफ योर गुरु और God. Here it is Guru, Krishna is saying about him. And then find that the God or the Guru or the Atma or the Brahman, that has become everything. So that you develop that oneness in your vision. So how to grow that oneness, they have discussed in great detail. And then comes Sattvaguna. How to get rid of the Sattvaguna? वो तो रजोगुना सत्वगुना के द्वारा तमोगुना पार हो गए, सत्वगुना के द्वारा रजोगुना पार हो गए. अभी चतुर्थ गुना कहाँ से लाएंगे सत्वगुना पार होने के लिए? So there comes the place of samarpana buddhi, surrender. In Bhagavad Gita it comes as, in the end of 14th chapter, sloka number 26, 14.26. This is a very important shloka. Mam chayo vyabhicarena bhakti yogena se. बोलना चाहते हैं, दोहराना चाहते हैं? Mam chayo vyabhicarena
मां च यो व्यभिचारेण
भक्ति योगेन सेवते
भक्ति योगेन सेवते
सगुणान् समतीत्यैतान् ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. He says माम च यह अव्यभिचारेण, ये व्यभिचारेण नहीं है, अव्यभिचारेण भक्ति योगेन सेवते. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ भक्ति योगा? अव्यभिचारिण, अव्यभिचारिणी भक्ति. which means it doesn't sweep, it doesn't, क्या बोलते हैं, विचलित नहीं होता है। हमारा भक्ति क्या होता है, कुछ वो पूजा कर रहे हैं, नहीं, हमारा केस तो ख़त्म नहीं है। वहाँ एक शनि मंदिर है, वहाँ जाके पूजा कर रहे थोड़ा, फिर बीच में कोई बड़े आदमी आ गए, उनको थोड़ा बता देते हैं हमारा केस ठीक करने के लिए। दिस इज व्यभिचारिणी, दैट इज वी डोंट हैव फेथ ऑन वन towards whom I am showing bhakti. The bhakti is not real, it is व्यभिचारिणी भक्ति। एक यहाँ से दीक्षा लिए, दीक्षा लेके कोई तो साधना करने वाला नहीं है, सब दीक्षा लेके सोचते हैं कि हम ज्ञानी बन जाएंगे, सेल्फ रियलाइज्ड बन जाएंगे, लेकिन साधना नहीं करना है। इट शुड कम फ्रॉम द ब्लू, समथिंग शुड कम डाउन। तो 2-3 दिन करके कुछ नहीं हुआ तो ओ अभी वो उनका लेक्चर चल रहा है, या वो महापुरुष आए हैं, उनका शक्ति ज़्यादा है लग रहा है, उनको पास जाएंगे, उनके पास फिर दीक्षा ले लिए। क्या हुआ, पहले वाला जो दिया था वो दिस इज कॉल्ड व्यभिचारिणी। वैसे 2, 3, 4, 5 जितना मिलेगा सबके पास जाएंगे। कोई पावर के पीछे दौड़ते हैं, तो सोचते हैं कि अरे तुम्हें कैसे पता चलेगा कि कौन महापुरुष है। You have to understand, na, by seeing and looking at their reputation and power and all, if you decide, that means you are looking for all those things, you run there. So this is all vyabhicharini bhakti, that means it is there and it is not there, it goes on changing, shifting, ऐसे ही चलते हैं। So abhyabhicharena means whatever happens to me, even if I lose my property, lose my building, lose my partner, lose my children, सब कुछ खो गया, फिर भी हमारी भक्ति कुछ भी कम नहीं होगी, स्थित रहेंगे। एक बार किसी का क्या हुआ था, लड़का मर गया, वो काली पूजा करते थे, काली को बाहर फेंक दिया, मतलब मूर्ति को। हम काली पूजा कर रहे हैं और हमारा बच्चा खो गया, ये क्या है? तो काली का क्या शक्ति है? काली की शक्ति है। समझते हैं ना, ये सब होता है, हम रियलिटी से बोल रहे हैं, ऐसे गप नहीं बोल रहे हैं। हमारे सामने एक औरत रहती थी जब हम कलकत्ता में थे, वो हर शनिवार रात को जब वापस आती थी, ऑफिस में बैंक में काम करती थी, जब वापस आती थी तो, और सब दिन 5 दिन ठीक था, शनिवार को her hairs will become like corona, absolutely devastated coming back. What happened? रोज शनिवार को हाफ डे था, तो उसके बाद वो 6-7 काली मंदिर विजिट करती थी। तो किसी दिन हुआ कि एक काली मंदिर छूट गया, तो उनके मन में बहुत डर हो गया, जहाँ से ये 5 को देखे हैं, 6ठा को तो नहीं देखे हैं, 6ठी, तो शी मस्ट बी कर्सिंग मी। सो डर के मारे 5 काली बारी जाके पूजा दी हैं और एक नहीं दिया है, तो किसका इफेक्ट ज़्यादा है? वी आर फुलिश लाइक इट। दिस इज व्हाट इज व्यभिचारिणी भक्ति, इट्स नॉट भक्ति। अब व्यभिचारिणी मीन्स वी विल, माई भक्ति इज अहितुकी भक्ति। अहितुकी मीन्स कुछ पूछने के लिए हम भक्ति नहीं करते हैं। इन स्पिरिचुअल साधना वी हैव टू हैव अहितुकी भक्ति, गुरु के प्रति भी अहितुकी भक्ति। वो हमें ये करेंगे वो करेंगे इसलिए हम नहीं पूछते। इट इज़ अ फॉन्डनेस विथ विच आई एम सरेंडरिंग माई सेल्फ। वेर एवर ही लाइक्स टू टेक मी, लेट हिम टेक। इट इज़ नॉट फॉर फुलफिलिंग माई सम डिज़ायर। जब तक डिज़ायर्स फुलफिलमेंट के लिए जाएंगे तब तक भक्ति व्यभिचारिणी नहीं हो पाएगी। Why did I say this? Oh, that what is the shloka? Mam chajabhyavin. अव्यभिचारेण भक्ति योगेन सेवते सा गुणान समतीत्यैतान ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते। He can cross over, he can transcend all the 3 gunas and attain Brahmanhood. get merged with Brahman, get merged with me, as Krishna says, because he has identified with the universal Atma, so he says he gets merged with me. Here, Brahma Bhuviyaya Kalpate. So, to get rid of the Sattva Guna, what do we have to do? With Abhyavicharini Bhakti, we have to surrender. Now, when you are surrendering, to whom you are surrendering is not the point. Because surrender is a state of mind where we are completely dissolving our ego. वो गुरु के प्रति हो, ईश्वर के प्रति हो, उसमें कोई फर्क नहीं है. Surrender is surrender. Surrender is where? It is not in the sky or in the Guru or in the Murti. Surrender is in your mind, in your buddhi. So, the state of surrender is in you. It doesn't matter where you have surrendered. And how do you know that you have surrendered? Surrender will immediately come with a great unfailing refuge. Refuge मतलब आश्रय बोधा. हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे? आश्रय बोधा समझते हैं? कि जैसे एक बच्चा माँ की गोद पे बैठ के वो सोचते हैं कि दुनिया में और कोई कुछ हमें नहीं कर सकते हैं. कोई चिढ़ा रहे थे, वो दौड़ के अगर माँ के पास पहुँच गया तो गोद पे बैठ के gets back his ashraya. Like that, there will be a feeling that nothing in the world can harass me or depress me, or I can take whatever comes from the world because I surrendered to that. ये एक मनस्थिति है जिसमें जो कुछ भी, you can call it surrender, you can call it acceptance also. That means whatever happens, it is done by the God, it is done by the providence. So I must accept it. Not must, automatically you will accept it. It has God. अगर बहुत कुछ दुख है, जैसे हरिश्चंद्र कथा, it has been given by the God, He will do it. He will accept it. तो क्या होगा? उनका मन शांत हो जाएगा, कभी भी एजिटेटेड नहीं होगा. This acceptance, I always say, it's a great acceptance button. If you press, immediately you will be peaceful. I always give the example. Suppose you have सब कुछ खो गया, कोई calamity, you have lost your building or you have lost your job for some reason, you have lost your all property, you are standing on the street and crying, howling and all. क्यों ऐसा हो गया, क्या हो गया, क्या हो गया? Now the stress and tension you are suffering from is because of non-acceptance of what has happened. Non-acceptance of your mind of whatever has happened. Now, जो हो गया उसको आप चेंज कर सकते हैं क्या? सोच के देखना. Which has gone past in time. Can you walk back in time? So you cannot change. What you can do is, again you can do whatever to be done further. And whatever to be done further, when will you be able to do it most efficiently? When your mind is peaceful, not agitated, not under stress. ये कोई समझते नहीं है, सब कोई स्ट्रेस्ड. आप IT वाले मोर, वो स्ट्रेस्ड होने से कैसे परफॉर्म करोगे? Anybody, his best performance can come only when the mind is relaxed, when the mind is peaceful, when the mind is not agitated. And when will the mind be not agitated? When you accept the situation, automatically the mind is not agitated. So we must understand that the mind was agitated. It was because of the non-readiness of the mind to accept whatever has already happened. You cannot do anything about it. समझते हैं? Whatever has happened, you cannot do anything about it. But your mind is not ready to accept whatever has happened. So it is getting tense and agitated and all. The moment you understand it fully and accept whatever has happened, the mind will immediately become peaceful. वो जितना कष्ट जो था, suffering जो था, तुरंत चला जाएगा. And with that mind you do if you want. If you don't want, you can become a sannyasi and also after that go. That whatever it is. What I am saying is that the same situation, if it happens In our case, is it not we have deliberately done it? नौकरी छोड़ दिया, प्रॉपर्टीज छोड़ दिया, पिता माता सब रिलेटिव्स छोड़ दिए, दोस्त, घर मकान कुछ भी है, सब कुछ छोड़ के जब कोई संन्यास लेते हैं रास्ते पे, इज इट नॉट द सेम व्हेन यू हैव लॉस्ट इट प्रोविडेंशियली? इन अनदर केस यू हैव डेलिबरेटली लेफ्ट एंड दैट डे यू आर हैप्पीएस्ट. वो हैप्पीनेस ज़्यादा नहीं रहेगा, लेकिन उस दिन तो बहुत होगा. सब छोड़ देने से जो शांति है और जो वी कॉल इट रामा, आत्मा रामा. So it is all because of the non-readiness of the mind to accept the situation that we are suffering from. So acceptance is where in our mind. So surrender operates this acceptance button because it is button. It is because it is coming from my Bhagavan or my Guru, whatever it may be. So generally Bhagavan, that Bhagavan has given me, so I accept it. So it becomes easy to surrender that way. That is why we surrender to Bhagavan. Here Bhagavan has no role. ये समझते हैं कि नहीं? भगवान को सोच के हम मन को सरेंडर करते हैं, सारा कुछ सरेंडर कर देते हैं, सब कुछ एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए तैयार हो जाते हैं. Even if Bhagavan is not there, how does it matter? You can generate that bhava in your mind. हम सब कुछ एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, जो आते हैं. Let the world send me anything, any kind of suffering or joy or anything. I am ready to accept everything. Cheerfully we will accept. So there lies the clue to Sattvaguna bondage also, how it can be transferred. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is more clearly discussed in 11th. सब चला जाता है. I have given so many times. सत्वं च विजयेत युक्तः नैरपेक्षेण शांतधीः संपद्यते गुणैर्मुक्तः मुक्तो जीवो जीवं विहाय माम. That is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is 11th skandha, 25th section. वहाँ पे 35 एंड करस्पॉन्डिंग श्लोका सर. श्लोका नंबर 35 है, बट उसके पहले भी है. 11th skandha, 25th chapter, 35th shloka. It's very clearly defined that how to win over the tamaguna bondage, how to win over the rajoguna bondage, and how to win over the sattvaguna bondage. There, nairapekshena shantati. Nirapeksha means non-expectation. Same as surrender, same as acceptance. Non-expectation means हमें कुछ नहीं चाहिए, कभी भी, कहीं से भी, किसी से भी कुछ नहीं चाहिए. I don't want anything from anybody, anytime, from anywhere in the world. That is the surrender. So then what will happen? Sometimes Rajoguna will be more in you, sometimes Sattvaguna will be more in you. ठीक है? It's not that the gunas are going away. All the three gunas will play. कभी कभी सोना ज़्यादा आ जाएगा, तमोगुना ज़्यादा होने से थोड़ा सो जाएंगे, ठीक है. फिर कभी कभी नींद नहीं आएगी, काम करने में मन लगेगा, काम करते रहो, वो भी ठीक है. कभी कभी सब कुछ पता चल जाएगा, दुनिया में क्या क्या हो रहा है, मतलब सबको सब कुछ पता चलेगा, वो भी ठीक है. उसमें सुख है, दुख है, सब कुछ है, सबको मान लेंगे. दैट काइंड ऑफ स्थिति, सब कुछ इज एक्सेप्टेड. सो दिस इज व्हाट ही सेज, दैट ये च एव सात्विका भावा राजसास्तामसाश्च ये मत्त एवेति तान विद्धि न तू अहम तेषु ते मयि. ये जो तीन गुण है, वो हमसे ही निकले हैं, वही जगत का छवि ला रहा है. दैट अपीयरेंस ऑफ द वर्ल्ड एंड ऑफ आवर इंडिविजुअलिटी, ऑल इज बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. बट नो दैट आई एम नॉट इन दैट and they are also not in me, because who am I? I am in pristine form. I am the substratum of all that, in which the whole universe appears to be. I am nowhere in that. The other day I told you about guna guneshu vattante iti matva na sajjate. That when we understand that it is a phenomena, it's a play of the three gunas going on. As the universe is a play of three gunas, my Vyaktitva, my personality is also made of the three gunas. And when I am interacting with the world, it is actually the three gunas interacting in the form of my body, mind, personality is interacting with the three gunas in the form of the world. I am nowhere there. I am a witness of this game going on in the world, which includes my body, mind, personality also in the game. But I am only a witness. So, ये जो complete separation from the activity, guna se alag ho jaake, that witness, we call it Sakshi Bhumi also, or you can say anything. This is the main pratipadya of Bhagavad Gita. How to get to that transcendental dimension where the whole, everything, all the activities, everything in the world will go on. We will be witnessing everything. And witnessing my body, mind, personality also doing its work, but never get affected by anything, never get touched by that also. Then he says, Tribhir gunamair bhavaihi. It is 7th chapter, 13th verse. 7th chapter, 13th verse. Tribhir gunamair bhavaihi.
Tribhir gunamair bhavaihi.
Ebhis sarvamidam jagat.
Ebhih sarvamidam jagat.
Mohitam nabhijanati.
Mohitam nabhijanati.
Mamebhyah paramavyayam.
Mamebhyah paramavyayam.
He says, Ebhi tribhihi. Ebhi means these, that sattva rajas tamas he has been speaking about. Ebhi tribhi gunamaihi bhavaihi. Sarvam jagat, idam sarvam jagat mohitam bhavati. By the activities of these three gunas, the whole world is remaining deluded. They are not able to know, the people are not able to know that I am not touched by it. I am only a witness of the whole play going on. Because they are deluded by the bondages created by the gunas. They remain bound to that and they go on, when they, whatever is happening, they think that I am getting tinted by this, I am getting affected by this. Whereas he is actually the transcendental consciousness where the whole universal play is going on. So, ebhi tribhi gunamaihi bhavaihi sarvam idam sarvam jagat mohitam asti or bhavati. Ebhyah param avyayam mam na abhijanati. That I am unchanging. Avyayam means, again we should remember, unchanging. Nothing in this created universe is unchanging. Everything is changeful. But the substratum of it, the consciousness on which this play is going on, that is the one. It's not in the object. Never think that consciousness we will discover in the objectitude. You can never see consciousness. Consciousness can only be known as the I in us, as the amness in us. It is not something to be known separately from me. It can only be known as myself. So, not knowing that I am not touched by them, the whole world remains deluded. They don't come to know me. Mam na abhijanati. They don't come to know me. Daivi hiyasha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. See, again the same thing which they said in 14th chapter. He says that this maya, this delusion, it is actually this Trigunamayi Maya. That means the Maya created, the delusion created by the three gunas. It is Daivi and it is almost impossible to overcome. Duratyaya, very difficult to cross over. But by saying that, they are not making you depressed. They are not making you subdued, that no, it cannot be crossed over, so you remain in Maya and do whatever you are wanting to, never want to become self-realized. Not that. They are saying, inspiring us that don't think that it is easy. It is very difficult because we are caught in the Maya, but one who has Mam Prapadyante, Mam Eva Ye Prapadyante. This Eva is very, very important. Those who take refuge in me and me alone. Eva means only in me, not in money, not in property, not in power, not in position, not in anything else except me. That is the Abhyavicharini Bhakti, just now I explained from the 14th chapter. Mam eva ye prapadyante, one who takes refuge in me, mayam etam mayam tarantite. They can transcend this Maya. So it is to inspire us to develop, cultivate that attitude of surrender, attitude of acceptance, attitude of nirapekshata, non-expectation. It is only an inspiration for that, so that we no longer remain caught in the Maya, the trap of Maya. Yesterday I spoke about the Yoga Sutra, the 1, 2, 3, 4. The first is we are going to discuss the discipline for yoga. Then second is Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha, no vritti is that. Third one, what is the state? Tada Drashtu Swarupaya Avasthanam. Then the fourth one was very important, Vritti Sarupyam Mitaratra. That means when you are coming out of the Samadhi, out of the yoga also, don't think that it is Biyoga. Yesterday also I told in great detail. That is, when the Samadhi is gone, people think that, oh, chala gaya, fir se Samadhi lagao. That means he is feeling Biyoga. That yoga he is not feeling. समझते हैं? कल कौन कौन थे? हाथ उठाइए तो थोड़ा. इतना ही. तो कौन फोन बज रहा है? Suppose in your meditation you get one day very peaceful, some may not be samadhi but some sort of experience, very peaceful experience. When you come out, you miss that. Do you not miss that? And then you want again to go into it, and you cannot go into it generally. So you are suffering from viyoga. Here he says that don't suffer from viyoga. When your Chetana is coming back from the Samadhi state to the world is appearing. Where is the world appearing? The whole world is appearing in yourself, in your Atma. The Atma which you are missing everywhere, you cannot miss. That Atma is always there in everything you are interacting with. They are nothing other than the Atma. So you are in yoga always. You think that only meditation you are in yoga, and rest of the period you are in yoga. Actually it is not so. When you discover that whatever the world is, it is all appearance in the Atma alone. Atma cannot be missed anywhere. All other things can be missed. अभी ये सत्संग हॉल है, थोड़ा बाद वो नक्षत्र बन जाएगा. Everything else will be changing. But everywhere, whatever you experience, can you experience it without your I being there? Tell me. Any experience, whether it is in dream, in memory, first comes the I and then comes the other experience. So it is all in the I and in the Atma. It is, if you call Bhagavan, it is in the Bhagavan. So we can never miss Bhagavan. All other things can be missed because they are all objects, short-lived and going here and there. But this I is present everywhere. The Atma or the consciousness is present in meditation, in sleep, in dream, in wakeful. It can never be missed at all. So that is what they said, vritti sarupyam vitaratra. That Atma itself is taking the form of the vritti and deluding you that no more Atma is there, it is all world. Now saying that, then they go on detailed description of why are we not able to feel that I am always in touch with the Atma or Bhagavan. So they are saying that klesha, it is because of a disharmony within. So they have defined various kinds of klesha and how to get rid of them. That it is always our mind is never in harmony with the buddhi. The buddhi is never, buddhi and mind together is never in tune with the inmost level of our being. You can say Atma. So it is not anchored in the Atma. So how to get rid of the klesha? Many methods have been discussed. Then in the 23rd sutra, I think, he is saying, Ishvara pranidhanatva. I am talking about Yoga Sutra. The 23rd sutra is Ishvara pranidhanatva. That means इतना करो, ये करो, वो करो, बहुत कुछ बता दिया. बता के बोल रहे हैं कि और, बा means और, Ishvara pranidhanat, by surrendering to the Lord. इतना कुछ करने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं. ये क्लेश समझना, ये क्लेशा है, वो क्लेशा है, ये इसके लिए हो रहा है, वो उसके लिए, जो समझना चाहता है समझते रहो. एक लाइफ में तो नहीं होगा पूरा. बट क्यों इतना करते हो? वो सारा कुछ चला जाएगा इफ आप अगर समर्पण बुद्धि से अपने को सौंप देता है. इफ यू टेक रिफ्यूज, आश्रया इन द ईश्वरा, ईश्वर प्रणिधानाद्वा. That is why this samarpana is given the topmost position everywhere in all the Shastras, be it Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. Anywhere, samarpana is the ultimate. Acceptance, non-expectation, कुछ भी बोलिए. It has been told that it is the Panchama Purushartha, beyond moksha. मोक्षा भी तो आप चाहते हैं, मोक्षा मोक्षा मोक्षा. ये इसमें कुछ चाहने का नहीं है. मोक्षा हो ना हो हमें कुछ नहीं होता. दैट इज द रियल लिबरेशन. इट्स कॉल्ड द पंचम पुरुषार्थ, बियॉन्ड द 4 पुरुषार्थस. See, the whole emphasis, as I am saying, yesterday also I said that it is not the practice, it is the perception that matters. What is that? ये जो इतना सारा कुछ बता रहा है, क्या बोल रहा है कि जो जहीं भी आप देखिए, कुछ भी आप देखिए, ये आपको ईश्वर की याद दिला रहे हैं. की याद ना का याद, की याद. Whatever you see the Surya, you see the moon, you see the sun, you see the whole world, you see the criminal, you see the saint, you see anything, that should remind you of the ultimate truth. You can call Krishna, you can call God, you can call Guru, you can call anything the ultimate truth. So, it is for us to perceive that in our all movement, every moment of life, every moment of our day, to perceive that truth through everything. जब झगड़ा हो रही है तब भी उसमें देखना चाहिए कि क्यों झगड़ा हो रही है. ईगो आ रहा है, ईगो क्या हो रहा है? ईगो हम जब भगवान सब यूनिवर्सल कॉन्शियसनेस से हट के जब स्मॉल बन जाता है तो तब होता है. तो यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड देयर ऑल्सो दैट इट इज द universality of our identity. Our real identity has to be remembered everywhere. So it depends on how much we are remembering the truth while interacting with the world. That will make our whole life divine. That will make our every moment divine. That will give us the divinity in everything. The whole world will become divine. इसमें दो याद करना है. एक है कि दृष्टिम ज्ञानमयीं कृत्वा पश्येत ब्रह्ममयं जगत. सा दृष्टि परमोदारा न नासाग्रावलोकिनी. दृष्टिम ज्ञानमयीं कृत्वा. ज्ञान कहाँ आएगा? हमारा विशन को ज्ञान के द्वारा पूरा उसमें परिवर्तन लाना पड़ेगा. विशन विल बिकम द नॉलेज ओरिएंटेड विजन दैट दिस इज द ट्रूथ एंड वॉट एवर वी आर सीइंग देयर वी विल फाइंड द ट्रूथ अलोन. ज्ञानमयीं कृत्वा पश्येत ब्रह्ममयं जगत. देन ओनली यू विल सी द जगत इज ब्रह्ममयम. It is not the drishti of the eyes. It is called ikshana. It's the drishti of the buddhi. The buddhi has to be purified, cultured, refined to that extent that the variety will not obstruct you. Everywhere you will discover always the spirit, the oneness of the consciousness, oneness of the truth will strike your buddhi and mind. Drishtim jnanamayim kritva pashyed brahmamayam jagat. Pashyed they have said, but it is not a vision of the eyes, it is a vision of the buddhi, of the vision of the understanding. Sadrishti paramodara. That vision, that drishti, the jnanamayi drishti is param udara. It's the most expanded because there is no limit, there is no bound. Even the boundary of subject-object is not there. It's all beyond oneness. When we say one, there is a concept of two and many. So हम लोग बोलते हैं one, लेकिन वो one से भी परे हैं. It is transcendental. There is no division of one, two, etc. सादृष्टि परमोदारा न नासाग्रावलोकिनी. न नासाग्रा अवलोकिनी. लोग ध्यान करते हैं ना यहाँ देख के, ओम, वो नहीं है परमोदारा दृष्टि. नाक देखने वाली नहीं है. देखना है पश्येत ब्रह्ममयम जगत. दृष्टिम ज्ञानमयीं कृत्वा पश्येत ब्रह्ममयम जगत. With that ikshana, the vision of the buddhi, the whole world will become the Atma or Brahman. And that is the expansion we look for. योग वासिष्ठ में एक श्लोक है, अपानंत गूढ़पादस्य पूर्णे मनसि संपूर्णं जगत् सर्वं सुधाद्रवैः. पूर्णे मनसि संपूर्णं जगत् सर्वं सुधाद्रवैः. अपानत् गूढ़पादस्य ननु चर्माश्रितैव भूः. पूर्णे मनसि संपूर्णं जगत् सर्वं सुधाद्रवैः. When the mind becomes Purna, when will the mind become Purna? When this ekatva will dawn in the mind. As long as it is not there, it cannot become Purna. There will be division, there will be gap, everything will be there. When everything becomes one Atma, same as myself, then the mind becomes full. There is nothing to have, nothing to desire for, nothing to reject also. Purne manasi sampurnam jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi. Sarvam jagat sudhadravaihi sampurnam bhavati. When the mind becomes full, then the whole worlds become full with nectar. Everywhere you will be cheerful, whether it is suffering or happiness outwardly. Prasada will not go. Manaprasadaha will be there everywhere. He is giving the example. What is that? Upanat gudhapadasya nanu charma astrita iva bhuhu. Nanu charma astrita iva bhuhu. If you want not to get touch with the dust, are you going to cover the whole world with leather? What do? You put your feet into the leather shoes and walk wherever you want to walk. Everywhere it will be leather alone. You don't have to cover the world. So we don't have to change the world or make it all beautiful or nectarine. When the mind becomes Purna, then the whole world comes to be nectarine. It keeps us cheerful throughout. ये दोनों याद रखना. We'll stop. Some questions if you give, tomorrow is the last day, so we will take up some questions if they give it in writing. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaraadihinam prasannam sada nityabodhasvarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaraadihinam prasannam sada nityabodhasvarupam param nishchalam
निर्गुणं सर्वरूपं
bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru.